Hi everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my experience as a Cal Poly Pomona civil engineering major at Cal Poly Pomona. I am also rocking my Cal Poly alumni shirt for the first time and it feels pretty cool. And as you can see, I am surrounded by a lot of plants, and so in between my speaking parts, I kind of wanted to do my plant chores. I thought that would be an interesting take on this kind of video. For the purpose of this video, I wanted to focus primarily on the academic part of my experience. And to just give a little bit background about myself, I started as a civil engineering general option major in fall 2018, and I graduated this past spring in 2022. Some clubs I was involved in include Steel Bridge, where I participated for 3 years and was an officer for 2 years. I was also an officer for ITE for 2 years, and I was a general member for ASCE all 4 years, where I attended some meetings and some events sprinkled out throughout the semesters. The first thing I wanted to touch on is the curriculum. I will say that it was pretty rigorous and it was not easy getting through all the classes. Some classes were pretty easy that barely required any work. However, others should have definitely have been worth double the amount of units that they were. Personally, it was pretty tough balancing to do well in all my classes and participating in clubs, maintaining my social life and health, but it was definitely doable. I did have a goal to graduate in 4 years, which is why I had to take a little bit over 15 units a semester. But if you're the type to slow down and take less classes a semester and try to figure out what you really want, 5 years is definitely also very normal for this major. I also felt that it was very difficult to work during the school year, and I honestly wouldn't recommend it unless you have to. I had to quit one of my internships just because my classes started to pick up too quickly and I needed those extra 16 hours a week to really catch my breath and to work on my homework. However, talking about the quality of the classes and the teaching, I will say that you're definitely going to get a mix of different types of professors, as you will with all different schools. But what I liked about this school was because it was a learn by doing school, and so the courses were very practical in teaching me only useful information instead of theoretical information. If you're not into that, maybe Cal Poly Pomona isn't for you. But it was also really cool being able to see what I learned in the classroom translate to what I was working on during my internships. And now I wanted to take an exciting plant break where first I want to water some of my plants. I usually like to bottom water my plants, and so that usually consists of getting a container, and I'll put some of the plants that need a drink of water. I think this one also needs a drink of water. And I'll just place them in here, and I will get my watering can and just fill up the bottom with water. And through this process, the bottom of my pots have holes on them, and so the soil will wick up the water, and once the top of the soil is full, I know that it is thoroughly watered throughout the plant. And while those are being watered, I want to talk about my next point, which are the opportunities given to students. If you currently are a student at Cal Poly Pomona as a civil engineering major, you would know about the enormous amount of emails that you would receive on a daily basis talking about internship or job opportunities, invitations to attend club meetings, scholarship applications, and career fairs. So if you are looking to attend a school that provides all of those opportunities for you, this is a great place to go because of how easy it is. I definitely did not take full advantage of all of the opportunities given, just because if I did, I just would have been overwhelmed. And there are some times that I really wanted to attend a club meeting, but I just needed a nap that day, so I just had to take a nap. I just wanted to say that there are so many opportunities. There's even a career fair that's specifically for the civil engineering majors, and so obtaining an internship or a job is not a difficult task at all. there are so many resources that give you workshops on how to improve your resume, give you mock interviews, and everything like that. Everyone else around me was also taking advantage of it, and so it's pretty common for people to have full-time internships over the summer, internships throughout the school year, and even job offers before people graduate, just because of the huge demand in the industry right now and the recognition that Cal Poly Pomona gets from their civil engineering students. Okay, time for another plant break. I wanted to plant some of my plants that have been propagating in water. For example, this guy, I put him in here for about 2 weeks and a lot of roots have grown. This guy also has a lot of roots that have grown, and so today I wanted to plant them in soil so that I can give them away as gifts. Okay, so I have my planting station all ready. I have some soil, I have a container where I will mix my soil, and I have the 2 plants that I want to plant. And so first I'm going to mix my soil. I have some regular indoor cactus mix right here. And I like to use a pretty well-draining soil just because I keep my plants indoors, and so the temperature is well regulated and they just don't need as much water as if they would if they were outside. And in here I have about 80% of regular indoor potting mix and 20% of perlite, which is just a super light puffed rock that helps aerate my soil even more. And so I'm just gonna give that a pretty gentle mix. And then I will first plant my neon pothos, and I have a 4-inch pot right here. So I'll start with putting some soil at the bottom. As you can see, the roots are pretty long. They're about 1 to 2 inches, which I think is a perfect time to plant them. So once I have it all kind of bunched up in there, I'm just going to fill the sides with soil, and then I'll do a little bit of a shake just to make sure everything is nice and down there. The soil is not wet right now, so when I water it, it will get a lot more compacted. And I'm going to keep this pretty moist for the first 2 weeks just because it came from growing in water and I don't want to completely dry it out. I will move on to my second plant, and the same thing with this one. I got a little coffee tin and then my boyfriend helped me poke holes out from the bottom. It does look a little janky, but I really liked this one. I think the brown would look really cute with the green from the leaves, and it also comes with a little cap that I could just keep at the bottom so no soil leaks out, and when I water it I just take off the cap. Okay, and for the final product we have this guy right here. I think he's so cute. And of course we have this guy that we planted, and I'm just going to place him in a pot, in a cover pot that I got from Home Depot. So now I have 2 matching ones that I wanted to put on both sides of my bathroom sink. And just like that, it's so easy to make so many new plants from just one mother plant. This one I actually did the exact same thing, and as it grows longer you can just cut some more leaves off, which I will show you in the next plant break, and you can make more little baby plants. Going back to my experience at Cal Poly Pomona, this third point I have is I feel just as important as the first 2, and that is my experience with my fellow classmates. The group of civil engineering students at Cal Poly Pomona were very diverse, and a lot of them had very humble beginnings, and so that made me feel welcomed from the start. I would see first year and second year students already having internships and full-time jobs over the summer, and it really reminded me that I'm not too young to also be doing that. Coming from high school to my first couple of years of college, I still felt very young. Adults who were working in their 20s felt so out of reach for me, but it really wasn't. It was only 1 or 2 years away, and seeing people my age being able to do that really made it more attainable for me, just because I could look up to them and see how they were able to balance everything and be the youngest faces at their job. Also, being a female in a male-dominant major was slightly intimidating at first. However, as I gained more experience through internships, through leadership positions, through clubs, that really helped me gain the confidence I needed to approach other students and professors with comments or ideas that I had. And I noticed that even though there weren't that many females in this major, the females that were in this major were extremely strong and passionate about what they did, and that only made me more passionate about what I was studying as well. So the takeaway from this video is that the civil engineering program at Cal Poly Pomona was really good. I would recommend it to anyone who is wanting to do civil engineering in the future, and it really prepared me well for all the internships I had and gave me the correct mindset to approach a full-time job. Some things I would do differently. I didn't start getting involved until my second or third year, and I know that if you're starting college, you hear this so many times by older students telling you to get involved early, but honestly, get involved early, because the earlier you get involved in, the sooner you discover what you really want to do, and you diversify your friend groups, you diversify your skills, and it just really helps you grow overall as a student. I would also not limit myself to the clubs I was involved in. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I was involved in ASCE, ITE, and Steel Bridge. And looking back, I don't regret any of those decisions. I just wish I had the chance to do more than that, because a lot of the projects there are so cool and they're all student run, which is great. Starting early gives you that opportunity to do more and to experience more and take advantage of all the resources that this university provides you with. And another thing I would do differently is, if I don't bring my own food and I do have to buy food, don't get Panda Express. That's always going to be there and you're going to get sick of it. And so a couple of food places that I have gotten that I really like, the first one being, this is a controversial one, but Koji Ramen. So many, 8 out of 10 people I mentioned that to, they're like, ew, that place sucks, it's disgusting, the food there is terrible. But honestly, when I get their tonkatsu ramen, I feel like the price, it did go up a little bit, but I feel like it's very reasonably priced. The service is always good in my opinion. I always get my food on time. There's always tables there available for me and my friends to eat. And I feel like the portion size is perfect for how much I eat. And you just can't be going to a place that's only a 2-minute drive from campus where there's always parking available there. Some other places that I really enjoyed include Taco Nazo, Yangdong Tofu, and O Sushi and Grill. And I wanted to take this time to do another plant break. As I mentioned earlier, I cut leaves off of the mother leaf plant to propagate and to create more plants so I can give away to friends and family. And so today I have this plant that, as you can see, has grown a lot. I actually grew this plant the exact same way I grew this plant just 1 year ago, so it's crazy how fast these guys can grow. And I'm also going to do it with this one. So these are the same kinds, and I'm going to create another one of these as soon as they root up. I have refilled my jars with fresh water, and I'm going to place the cuttings in here. So I'm just going to cut pretty close to the inside. So as you can see, off of this vine, there are 6 leaves, and on the bottom of the leaves, there are these little protruding nodes that eventually turn into roots when you plant them. And I will cut in between every leaf, and then I'm going to continue doing this with all the stems that I have just cut off. And I'm just going to place it into this jar. In about 2 weeks, I will have another one of these. So I'm going to clean off my area again, and I have some bonus tips for those of you who have stayed till this long in the video. The first one is as I mentioned, there are so many opportunities for summer internships if you are looking for one. But in the case that you don't get a summer internship, don't sweat it, because you could use that summer to take general ed courses at your community college. And I personally did that. After my first year of college, I was able to knock out two or three general ed courses, which has helped me a ton during the school year. The second tip I have is involvement with clubs for experience. This will be preached to you at Cal Poly Pomona if you're studying civil engineering over and over again, just because of how important it is. And like I said earlier, it gave me the confidence to really get out of my comfort zone, to take more opportunities for myself, and to get to where I am today. And lastly, of course, prioritizing both your mental and physical health, because we all know that you can't truly excel in all your classes if you don't have those two put together. And with that completes my video. And so if you have any further questions, you could comment them down below and I will try my best to answer them. And if not, I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.